Norwalk here at Unrated Gaming. I'm Regina Angley. I will be solo commentating with QB and Bombsley for now. We've got for you guys an exciting round one for anybody who's seen the tweet. We've got two SoCal favorites, Giovanni Costa and Hayley Aldworth. Two people who are very well known, not just in SoCal, but obviously outside as well. So I'm looking forward to an exciting series with them. This is the first PC for the Sun Series here in SoCal, fresh off of the first regional as well from last week in Oaks, Philadelphia. So super excited to see what these two are bringing. It might be some throwbacks to some of you guys here, so it's going to be fun. As you guys can see on your left, we've got Hayley with that Groudon, Incineroar, Venusaur, Tapu Fini, Xerneas, and of course Meowstic. And on Geo's side, Duskmane, Necrozma, Incineroar, Tapu Fini, Kyogre, and Eevee, to nobody's absolute surprise, and a Mimikyu. I will say though, having an Eevee in the series when you don't have access to its Z move is a little bit interesting. But it'll be fun to see what's going to be brought here. So obviously on Hayley's side we've got that classic Xerneas and Groudon combination, and we did see the Venusaur being used a lot last week. Meowstic, a really cool Pokemon to see as well with that prankster ability, and we're gonna go right into it with Hayley versus Geo. I think first. I'm super excited for this. It got really quiet in here, so this will be fun. Alright, and we've got Hayley lead with that Groudon and the Meowstic, and Incineroar and Necrozma on Geo's side of the field. So we're going to Intimidate onto that Groudon specifically for Hayley's side, as we've got the Sun, which, speaking of sun, it's actually really hot right now. Wearing a long sleeve is a bad idea. But now we've got a couple things going on here. Obviously that Prankster is going to be able to have Hayley set up a couple things if she wants to. Necrozma's in a little bit of trouble, potentially Fire Punch from that Groudon out on the field. As Quick Guard is actually going to protect Hayley's team from anything on Geo's side, as Fake Out is actually going to be stopped because of that Quick Guard, allowing Hayley to go for the Paraphyst Blades, hitting both Pokemon, going to do some super effective damage on there, and is not quite enough to pick up any sort of knockout on there, but does activate a weakness policy on Geo's Duskmane and Necrozma, raising that special attack and that attack. And ooh, we've got a Life Orb Groudon here, as Trick Room is actually set up by Necrozma. So all the Pokemon now who are fastest are going to be the slowest for the next couple of turns, and we'll see exactly our speed tiers on here. So Geo running a slower team, I guess, since he's running that Trick Room right now. Oh my god, it is so hot in here. Anyway guys, hope you guys are a lot cooler over there. It's supposed to be fall, but it's not right now, as U-turn from Geo's Incineroar is going to hit for super effective damage onto that Meowstic, and going to be going back to Geo, allowing him to choose one of his Pokemon in the back to hopefully better function in this Trick Room setting. Kyogre comes in, brings in the Drizzle and the Rain, and this is a weird feeling, being back commentating by myself. Oh. Alright guys, so we're done guys here from that Duskmane Necrozma, which I think this might be the second time we've seen it. Not enough to pick up a knockout on that Groudon, allowing Groudon to get another Paraphyst Blades up here on the field is going to be enough to pick up a knockout on that Necrozma. So a heavy hitter on Geo's side of the field is going to be knocked out. Kyogre taking it pretty comfortably, but the Groudon will be knocked out on this turn thanks to that Life Orb residual damage, as Psyshock from the Meowstic is going to round off this first turn of Trick Room into that Kyogre. Hopefully, if you're not running a Water Spout or Choice Scarf on there, which you shouldn't be with the Trick Room, you're going to be doing a lot less damage to that HP. But Incineroar are going to be out one more time. We'll be able to intimidate another Pokemon here on Hayley's side, which is going to be that Tapu Fini, but both of these Pokemon, well, specifically that Tapu Fini, is more of a special attacker, and actually in this series it's been seen more of a support. We do get Misty Surge, the Misty Terrain up on the field, so no status inflictions for anything. So kind of a rough position, I think, for Geo right now. His Kyogre, he's lost his Duskmane, has Trick Room up, should be able to at least do a little bit more damage, but Light Screen from the Meowstic is going to make sure that special attacks are going to be a little less damaging, as Thunder with 100% accuracy in the rain is going to connect with that Tapu Fini, going to do super effective damage. But that Light Screen is showing off those dividends as U-turn once more from Incineroar. Going to show the last Pokemon on Geo's team, not enough to pick up the knockout on that Meowstic though. Oh. So, Tapu Fini and Tapu Fini. Alright, so we've got a grass knot from Hayley's Tapu Fini on to that Kyogre. Easily picks up that knockout because Kyogre is not exactly the lightest Pokemon out there, and it was already at pretty low health in comparison. It is not looking good for Geo, especially since we haven't seen Hayley's last Pokemon still. I'm so sorry, guys. It is so hot in this video right now. But actually, Hayley's in a really good spot. I'm gonna just pick up this game if she really wants to. That Tapu Fini, as a mirror, might be okay for Geo, but there's not a lot he can do. I don't think he's got enough damage output right now to be able to take care of anything on Hayley's side. So maybe having to think of a little bit of a strategy here, but Incineroar going for the Snarl is not enough to pick up the knockout still on that Meowstic, but gets a special attack drop on that Tapu Fini, which will make it a little bit easier to deal with. And Tapu Fini on Geo's side can be using Heal Pulse to heal back up that Incineroar, the damage it's taken only from the Parapet Blades from that turn 1. As Nature's Madness, though, from Hayley, a favorite for most Tapus right now, is going to bring Geo's Tapu Fini into that half health range, and a double tap from that Meowstic into that Tapu Fini is not quite enough to do any sort of damage, but gets it down to under half health. This Meowstic has been holding on for this entire time. It is at 2 HP still. It is a good cat, for sure. Oh, another Snarl from that is actually enough to pick up a knockout on that Meowstic. That Tapu Fini is still there, still behind the light screen, is at -2 special attack though, it's not going to be hitting as much. Moonblast from Geo's Tapu Fini is going to hit into the opposing Tapu Fini and gets another special attack drop, so it is at -3, but does activate the berry. Man, gets it basically a free Snarl and damage from there. But Nature's Madness connecting once more from Hayley's Tapu Fini into that Incineroar is going to get it down to under half. And Trick Room is expiring now. So Hayley has the advantage on speed again as she is forced to bring out her last Pokemon. But Geo has shown that and there's the Xerneas. So these Moonblasts actually are going to benefit. So this Fairy War is actually going to benefit both Tapu Finis if Hayley's is also carrying a Fairy type move besides Nature's Madness, as we've seen the Moonblast already from Geo's Tapu Fini. So actually, there's still a way out here, as Moonblast actually is going to go into that Incineroar, is going to pick up a knockout thanks to that Fairy Aura. Obviously no Geomancy because Hayley's not really needing it at this point. As Grass Knot from Hayley's Tapu Fini connects with Geo's Tapu Fini, does no damage because it is -3 and because Tapu Fini is really light. But Moonblast, also boosted from that Fairy Aura, is going to do some good damage onto Hayley's Xerneas. Oh, mirrors. But now we've just got this Tapu Fini versus a Xerneas that can knock it out with a Moonblast, and a Tapu Fini who is at -3 special attack, but still gonna be able to pick up knockouts very easily. So Geo forfeiting, giving match 1 to Hayley. So that was fun. Oh.
Ready?
I mean, So Geo's gonna have to adjust a couple of things. Obviously, losing that Dustmane Necrozma super early on hurt him. He did manage to get that Trick Room up, but that Incineroar didn't offer him a lot of things outside of pivoting. Couldn't really deal much damage to Hayley's team. That Meowstic is a little bit more of a problem for him probably than anticipated. The light screen really helping. Snarl from Incineroar helps, but Hayley had just enough output on damage to really cause a problem for him. Oh, I'm going to die. Is it okay? Wait, okay. I was like, can you hear it? I have to speak really quietly because it feels weird talking in an empty, in like such a full house where everybody's really quiet. So I'm not sure how I feel. But going into game 2, gonna need some adjustments from Geo to be able to at least force this to a game 3. Oh, as Incineroar and Mimikyu is actually gonna be the adjustment here. Totem Mimikyu. So obviously gonna take less damage from any sort of sky drops that you might see, but a little bit of adjustment from Hayley as well, as we've got 2 Incineroars on the field now. And so we've got Groudon and Incineroar on Hayley's side versus that Totem Mimikyu and the Incineroar on Geo's side. So we do have the Intimidate from Hayley's side going first, and the Intimidate from Geo's Incineroar going second. that Drought is still going to make sure that both Incineroars could benefit from Flare Blitzes if needed. And there's nothing really on Hayley so that I can actually break through past the disguise on there, so she will have to tap into it a couple of times to make sure she breaks the disguise and gets a knockout onto that totem Mimikyu. Obviously moves like Moongeist Beam and Sunsteel Strike would circumvent that, but she doesn't have Pokemon here that carry that right now. As Groudon going for the Protect doesn't want to take damage from potential Fake Out or anything else, U-turn from Hayley onto that Mimikyu is going to break the disguise on this turn, and she will be pivoting out on here, so giving her a chance to adjust to potentially whatever Geo might be bringing to the table with both of these Pokemon. So the Incineroar is still being the same for Geo, no Fake Out actually from him. So probably going straight for an attack. So whatever Hayley might be bringing here might actually be in a little bit of trouble. We do have that Tapu Fini from last time, which we know has a Nature's Madness in the Grass Knot. It did take a couple snarls though, as U-turn from Geo's own Incineroar both into that Groudon does not connect because of the Protect, so we won't be able to pivot out into anything else. So this Incineroar staying in here for another turn as Mimikyu finishes off the round with a Trick. It's 2 Pokemon this team holding Trick Room, but this Mimikyu's disguise is broken, so you're gonna have to be careful what it gets hit by. Actually, what is it carrying? No. Yeah, Mimikyu is a pain if you don't deal with it properly. It was a really good Pokemon to use. Was not expecting to see it today, so that is kind of fun. But Mimikyu is going to be retreating, having already set up Trick Room and intending to be more of a fast Pokemon. It's Necrozma is going to be the one hitting the field, but Incineroar now able to use U-turn is going to be faster than Hayley's side of the field because of the fact that we are in Trick Room, and Geo now able to kind of pivot around. Oh, wearing a long sleeve was such a bad idea today. What it is. Mimikyu coming back into that place of that Incineroar though, so Incineroar hopefully not going to take any damage, as that Mimikyu is going to take the Nature's Madness in place of that Incineroar, so going to be a Pokemon that he'll want to save for later. Precipice Blades is going to connect though with both Pokemon. That's 3 Precipice Blades that are connected with both Pokemon. Mimikyu is going to get knocked out though, and Necrozma will have that weakness policy activated. We saw before that it didn't get quite in the knockout range at all from before either, but it has potential to kind of maneuver around better in this Trick Room, and Incineroar able to safely come in if it needs to here. That Mimikyu kind of a sacrifice, but Kyogre is going to be the Pokemon of choice here as it rewrites the weather and brings in some of that rain, which I kind of wish it would bring here as well. Oh my goodness. I love Groudon, don't get me wrong, but the sun right now is a little bit too much. But she's in a really good spot now. Both of his Pokemon are going to be fastest because Trick Room is set up. That Necrozma is extra scary, being that +2 special attack and attack to it. So really kind of this choice of whatever Pokemon to go after right now. As Hayley is going to withdraw that Groudon, bring in the Xerneas from that first match, making sure she has the weather advantage for later on, as Water Spout at a full health Kyogre is going to be connecting with both Pokemon. That Xerneas is barely hanging on here as Sunsteel Strike. Whatever Pokemon is going to go into is going to do a lot of damage. Is going to be enough to pick up a knockout on whatever Geo wants at this point, which is going to be that Tapu Fini. So Hayley is going to be losing that Pokemon, not able to really attack anything. That Xerneas got that Groudon out, but that Xerneas is paying a lot for it. Is taking down a lot of health. Is still going to be in Trick Room though, and that Kyogre with Water Spout is going to be enough to take it out. But that Groudon is coming back in, going to rewrite that weather and bring us back to the sun. So going to negate a little bit of the damage from that Water Spout potentially, but still in a pretty tough spot for Hayley's side. She does have the Incineroar in the back still. And the Groudon here, both of these Pokemon can't exactly take any sort of water type moves from Kyogre. That's why that Incineroar is going to be at full health. As Xerneas goes for the Protect, doesn't want to get knocked out on this turn. And another Water Spout from Kyogre is going to do some good damage still to that Groudon. It's still just at least not 4 times as effective as it would be for this Primal Groudon. But Sunsteel Strike, the animation going off, it shows that he is doubling down into that Groudon spot. So we will most likely get a game through because Incineroar in the back doesn't really have a lot of firepower to do anything. That Groudon comes in, is knocked out almost immediately, and this Xerneas is just protected in a bad spot now. So gonna take down this this Necrozma to at +1 attack instead of that +2 because of that Intimidate though, but still the Xerneas has just protected. There's not much that Hayley can really do unless she gets a double protect and Trick Room expires on this turn, so Geo really making like use of those Trick Room turns. A full health Water Spout Kyogre is going to be scary against both these Pokemon, even in the sun. Kyogre is a big boy and he does big damage. And then we go, that Water Spout is going to be knocking out that Xerneas. Oh, not quite actually. Wow. It still manages to hold on with 3 HP as Necrozma goes for another Sunsteel Strike. I can't believe that Xerneas held on even in the sun. But it's going to get knocked out now because of that Sunsteel Strike. Incineroar is going to be the lone Pokemon versus everything here as Flare Blitz connects. It's going to go into that Necrozma. It's going to knock it out fully at this point. So Geo loses Necrozma, has the Incineroar in the back as Trick Room does expire, but Hayley doesn't have Fake Out pressure anymore, and Geo is going to be able to bring in his own Incineroar and is going to be able to Fake Out this Incineroar and allow that Kyogre kind of just free reign to attack into it. That Intimidate going to make its Flare Blitzes a little bit less powerful even in the sun. So it is a -1 attack. I mean, you've got these two Pokemon versus this half health Incineroar's Fake Out does connect with this. Make sure that that Hayley's Incineroar can't move, as a single target Water Spout, even in sun, is going to pick up the knockout on Hayley's Incineroar, giving game 2 to Geo, forcing us to a game 3 of this round 1. That went about as much as I expected on that one. Geo really making use of those Trick Room turns. Make sure that he had sacrificed that Mimikyu after it had done its job to make sure that that Incineroar didn't actually get knocked out. So some really good adjustments in there. Hayley on this time I think needed to had interesting adjustments, didn't quite work. Got a little bit read into with that protecting Xerneas and then losing the Groudon on that turn. So I think her strategy this time will be having to protect that Groudon at least a little bit better. So, I mean, hey, game 3 for round 1 against, for both of them, like, pretty good opponents. Like, they know each other very well, know each other's styles. So this is a game about getting into your opponent's mind as much as it is winning the snatch. And when you've been around people that you know for a long time, you get to know their battle strategies. It makes it a little bit more difficult. But Geo already locking in with those Pokemon, and Hayley locking in now. So here we go, game 3. Yeah. So it'll be fun to see exactly how they adjusted. Also, so I'm being really quiet. It's hard to talk when there's when everyone else around you is dead silent. Alright, but we've got the game 1 lead that we got from Hayley before, the Groudon and the Meowstic, as we've got Incineroar and Mimikyu again from Geo. So potentially trying to set up Trick Room once more, so Hayley gonna have to really consider how she's gonna try to stop that. Obviously Mimikyu can't get faked out by anything on the field. And Incineroar's Intimidate is gonna make sure that it can survive, it can at least hold on even better from those precipice plays. We saw that it's not exactly been knocked out by it. And the Sky's gonna have to be broken, so unless Hayley can knock out this Mimikyu in one turn, she's not going to be able to stop Trick Room from coming up, and we saw exactly how well Geo used Trick Room to his advantage as it was happening. So Psyshock straight from the get-go from Hayley, going to break that Disguise on that Mimikyu, going to make sure that Trick Room hopefully cannot get set up because she needs to be able to do as much damage as possible and not be the one taking damage. As Precipice plays, finally missing one, is gonna miss the Incineroar, goes after the Mimikyu, does not quite get it down to knock it out. But that U-turn from Incineroar gonna connect into that Groudon, probably gonna be switching into that Necrozma as he is gonna be able to get that Trick Room set up on this turn. We've seen that Duskmane be a bit slower than everything else. Oh, but Kyogre instead, so gonna bring in the Weather and get those Water Spouts going. I mean, nothing that switches into here is going to take a full Water Spout from Kyogre very nicely. And Trick Room is going to be set up, so this Kyogre we've seen before is going to be able to go first. I mean, if you're Hayley, maybe you set up Light Skin so you take those damages just a little bit better, but you're going to want to get that Groudon out of there because now this Kyogre is in prime position to click Water Spout and go, which is exactly how I think VGC 19 is, the Sun series at least, is being described. And here we've got the light screen, making sure that the special defense of all of Hayley's team is a little bit higher, as that Groudon is behind to protect Water Spout. Of course, from Kyogre, I would expect absolutely nothing less. Going to be doing a lot of damage to that Meowstic, not as much thanks to that Sun for that light screen, as Will-O-Wisp goes into a protected Groudon slot. Will-O-Wisp. This Mimikyu is a character. But Hayley did protect that Groudon already, managed to burn one turn of Trick Room. That Meowstic is still holding on. And now this Groudon is going to get the heck out of dodge because it's going to want to stay around for later. We'll get the Xerneas in before. We did see that it managed to hold on with 61 HP last time. Thunder Wave, though, from the Meowstic, going to try to make sure that that Kyogre can't move. Has a 1 in 3 chance of being paralyzed on every turn. We're going to see if it's going to pay off on this, as Water Spout does manage to go off on this turn. Is going to pick up the knockout on that Meowstic. This Xerneas obviously holding on very well because of the fact that we had that light screen up from a couple turns earlier. Will-O-Wisp connecting on a Pokemon like Xerneas. It's not going to matter much for its attack. However, the extra residual damage from that burn is going to hurt Hayley a little bit later on. She is going to be able to bring in that Groudon though to make sure that she gets that Sun back up. And okay, that Tapu Fini is going to be the Pokemon of choice, though, going to bring in that Misty Surge, that Misty Terrain, and it's going to benefit, and it's going to be able to at least try to go for Nature's Madness against that Kyogre, mitigate the damage that those Water Spouts are doing. Kyogre obviously still a very scary Pokemon, but both of Hayley's Pokemon will be able to take attacks pretty well now. One, not just because of the fact that, you know, they're very, good special defensively Pokemon, but because that light screen is still up. So Water Spout, obviously not going to that Xerneas, will be taking residual damage from that burn, and does barely anything to this Tapu Fini. As light screen, actually, from Geo's own Mimikyu. Okay, this is the battle of screens now, apparently. So gonna at least, hopefully, make sure that Geo's Pokemon can take special attacks very well. This Kyogre is now officially at half health though, because Nature's Madness did hit as Xerneas takes that damage from the burn at the end of this turn. Yeah, so both teams now behind light screens, making sure that they don't get hit as much by special attacks. And for Hayley, that's a little bit of a tough spot to be in, because she does have Pokemon on her side of the field who are known to be special attackers. So positioning yourself a little bit better, still have a couple turns of Trick Room to burn. A Shadow Sneak though from Mimikyu can be a priority move, going to go after that Xerneas. Is not enough to knock it out, and Kyogre feeling the effects of that paralysis as it cannot move on this turn. This Mimikyu going down thanks to that Moonblast, obviously again boosted by the Fairy Aura from Hayley's own Xerneas, but that Xerneas connecting with Moonblast onto that Kyogre gets a special attack drop as well as the rain ends on this turn. Ooh, and now we've got Trick Room ending, and now Hayley's got the advantage again on here. That paralysis really hurt, as Necrozma is going to take the field once more. Has not taken any damage. We know it has that weakness policy. We know it can take it can take a couple attacks really well, but probably won't be able to get that weakness policy activated in this turn. This Kyogre has to be able to move this turn, or it is going to be in trouble. Geo actually going to take it out of the field, as Incineroar is going to be the one to come into place for it. Has the ability to fake out next turn for Hayley, but it's going to have to be careful that it survives whatever attacks it's going to get, as Krasnot from Xerneas as well connects with what was that Kyogre. Does absolutely nothing to that Incineroar, and Nature's Madness from Tapu Fini connecting with that Necrozma is going to get it down to half health. Still no weakness policy update. Necrozma is able to get a Trick Room though. So Geo going to be having the speed advantage for the next couple of turns, as well as this Xerneas is slowly just getting knocked out by that burn. I mean, Hayley has to attack with it again, or, I mean, she's going to lose this Xerneas very soon, and is going to have to really... Hayley's going to have to, play her best and outread Geo here to be able to go after this. But Flare Blitz from that Xerneas is going to be, from that is going to be going to that Xerneas, going to finally pick up the knockout on it, going to make sure that it can't do any damage to that Incineroar. As Sunsteel Strike from Necrozma, not at that +2, because weakness policy has not been activated. He's going to connect with that Tapu Fini, going to do some damage onto it, and manages to activate the berry, so this Tapu Fini is going to be able to hold on for a little bit longer. We've seen it use Grass Knot, we've seen it use Moonblast, and Nature's Madness as well. So this is it doesn't have anything that can hit either of these for at least barring Moonblast. It can't actually use water type moves here, but we do have this Groudon who is going to be that last Pokemon bringing in the sun once more. It's going to really benefit that Incineroar at least, and going to be able to help those Flare Blitz really go off. However, if Hayley's Groudon can survive and connect Precipice Blades that next turn, she might actually win this game even behind the light screen. And we do have that Kyogre in the back, which is going to bring in that Drizzle, but it's going to be at half health and paralyzed, and that is a risky gamble to take for a chance to not move one in every 3 turns. So Hayley protecting her Groudon on this turn, wants to keep it around as Flare Blitz goes into that protected Groudon spot, and Photon Guys are also going to that protected Groudon spot. So Gio really going after that Groudon, but allowing this Tapu Fini once more to go after Gio's Pokemon gets the Nature's Madness onto the Cosmos, slowly whittling away its health. So unless Hayley needs to go for a double protect here if she wants to keep that Groudon alive. I think we've got 2 more turns of Trick Room still left. So she's really going to have to try to go after Pokemon here that won't be able to hang on. So going after that Necrozma with hopefully something that can attack it. But Flare Blitz instead from Incineroar are going to go into that Groudon. Gio's going to double tap possibly into that Groudon, as Photon Geyser is going to be connecting as well. So understanding that Groudon needs to be taken out, or else there's not much that he can do to stop Precipice Blades. But Moonblast from that Tapu Fini going to connect finally into that Incineroar. Going to pick up a knockout, gets a special attack drop, but not really super necessary. And it's going to be the last. Gio has one more turn to Trick Room, but this Tapu Fini we've seen hasn't really been able to do a lot of damage, barring Nature's Madness and those Moonblasts, but can't really do much against Gio's team. So the Necrozma should be able, just another double tap into a Flare Blitz, plus a Photon Geyser or Sunsteel Strike from that Necrozma should be enough to pick up the knockout on there. Incineroar will knock itself out, gets a critical hit and a burn. Super, just the cherry on top on this Tapu Fini being the last Pokemon on there, as Misty Terrain expired a couple turns ago. Showing the Tapu Fini can get status inflictions if you waited out long enough, but Sunsteel Strike is going to be enough to pick up a knockout here, and if not, you've got that burn that's going to knock it out, giving Game 3 and the round to Gio. What a weird game. That is a weird Game 3, guys. I cannot believe this. Or, actually, I forgot, I lost a bet. I can't believe you this. So, really good adjustments from both of them, but that Totem Mimikyu is a weird Pokemon to have on there. This is, by the way, this Bonsai is absolutely adorable. But good game from both of them. That Mimikyu was definitely not what I quite expected, but congratulations, Gio. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'm going to go outside because it is sweltering hot in here, much like when Groudon brings the sun. So, matches are finishing up for round 1, but we'll see you guys for round 2 as soon as possible. Keep up with us. Follow Miguel at Pokemon Labs, or just keep an eye out for the link here. So, we'll see you guys in a little bit.